Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making a Swiss potato rosti with green onions and goat cheese. So I'm going to get started by preparing the ingredients I need for this recipe, and then I'm going to start putting them all together. So I'm going to heat up a small frying pan, and I'm going to melt some butter, and I'm going to saute my green onions. So I'm going to let that heat up, and then I'm going to start that process. I have prepared my potatoes, so what I did is I washed them and then I shredded them into thin little pieces, and then I soaked them in water again, and then they've been sitting in the strainer for about an hour or so to strain out all the water that is inside the potatoes. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for our pan to heat up is we're going to prepare the seasoning on our potatoes, and then once the onions are complete, we can start the next process. So in a small medium-sized bowl, I'm just going to grab about a handful of the potatoes, and inside I'm going to add some pepper and some salt and some dried oregano. And then I'm going to mix that all about so that it has a nice balance of all the seasoning in the potatoes. And then I'm going to set this aside and then wait until my onions are completed. The butter has now come to a boil, and I'm going to start adding in my green onions so that we can saute them. You can also use leek. It's also a nice option to put into a rosti. So we're just going to make sure that this is nice and cooked. Now that my onions are completed with a nice golden color, I'm now going to take it off the heat, and I'm now going to put a larger frying pan on top of the heat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some olive oil, and I'm going to make sure it's nicely coated with oil so that our potatoes don't stick to the frying pan. So a nice layer. Make sure it's nicely balanced. And we're going to let that heat up so that we're going to roast the potatoes. They're going to cook quite quickly, and then we're going to add the ingredients all in one. Alright, so our frying pan is now heated at a high heat, and what we're going to start doing is we're going to start putting in our potatoes. Then we're going to layer it with the onions that we caramelized, and then some goat cheese in between, and then we're going to add another layer of potatoes. Alright, so we're going to start doing that quickly. We're going to add some crumbled goat cheese. And then we're going to add some of the green onions that we caramelized earlier on. And then now we're going to add a layer of potatoes on top of the goat cheese and the onions that we put in. So we're going to monitor this because it's cooking quite quickly, and because the potatoes are quite thin, we don't want to overcook them. So we don't want them to burn, so we're going to quickly cook this, and once it's ready, we're going to flip it. So once we flip it over and the other side gets fully cooked as it is on the one side that we cooked it on, this recipe would be complete. What we would do is we would plate it, serve it with some sour cream, and ready to eat. If you like this recipe and you want to see more like this, please subscribe to our channel. Hit that share, like, and that bell notification.